Let's get into it. It's been a while. Welcome back to Extraordinary Critic. My name is Brian Taylor. I got my co-host, my friend with me, Jacoby Smith.
Yo,
And today we are going to be talking about Dead Presidents, a classic movie that starts with Larenz Tate, Chris Tucker, Keith, David, so many other. Clifton Powell is in this as well.
yeah,
It's directed by the Hughes brothers, which directed
Minister
directed Miss
Society.
Society, and
Yeah,
also Book of Eli. So they directed
and the
some
Book of
pretty,
Eli.
yeah, they directed some pretty good stuff. So, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, Dead Presidents. What is Dead Presidents? Well, Dead Presidents is a movie came out in 1995 that stars Larenz Tate and is about a young guy. I forgot the character's name. What's the character's name? Antoine? Antonio? I think his name was Antoine. I think
Um,
his name. Come on. Let me find
and
it.
Annie, and it was Anthony.
Anthony, there is it. His name is Anthony, and basically takes a journey from high school to the military. Him coming back from the military, and also it takes place late 1960s, going into the early 70s. So around that time, the Vietnam War happened, and um, he comes back, and things don't go as planned, and he has to figure out a way to survive. And as it's basically about the treatment of military people and how certain things
Hmm.
can take a toll on you and make you do crazy stuff. So let's get into it, man. So Jacoby, how do you feel about Dead Presidents?
Uh, it's one of my favorites. I gotta say, well, I say it's a guilty pleasure movie because it's not one of, it's not it's not one of the best, but it was the best for its time, and it really shows that in this movie. And I really just appreciate it for, I guess, the story that they told,
Mm-hmm.
the way that they told it. It was a lot of movie. It was a lot of movie. It was a lot of movie for it to be just, I guess, telling the story of veterans. I feel like as much as it told, it definitely puts it up there for one of the, like, I guess, one of those, like grittier type movies for
It's
me.
very, very graphic, y'all. If y'all don't like violent movies, don't watch Dead Presidents. Uh, you already got Men's Society, who's already a violent movie, but I
Nah,
think
man,
I think Dead Presidents take it to a whole nother
this
level of
takes the cake.
violence. It does, honestly, it really does. So are you done with your review?
Uh, yeah, we just, yeah,
Okay, I like the movie. I really do. I like Dead Presidents, and I could watch it. But I
yeah,
do think this movie has a lot of flaws to it. I think one of the major flaws is like you said, it's too many movies into one. That doesn't really match well for me. You got the first part, it's like a coming of age story. Then you got the army story, and then you got the crime story.
yeah.
And it's like I get it, like it you're going from him being a good, kind teenager to him being
So kind. It was such. It was
yeah,
such a.
then I
It
get
was a
it.
hell of an
I
arc,
get it. I get it.
but it
But
was.
I don't know about the military part. I think the military part to me was the weakest. To
You
me,
mean
the
like you mean
weakest.
like the you mean like just like the just the part itself in the movie,
Yeah,
like
the
just
part
like
itself, I think it was the weakest.
I feel you.
I didn't really care for him going to the army, honestly.
But did you like what they were trying to do with it?
I did like what they tried to do with it, but I just feel like it was the weakest. Like I cared about him being in Harlem or wherever neighborhood he was in. I just care about him being there in that world they built in the late 1960s, going to the 70s. It was very interesting. Those were the best parts for me. But I think
Yeah,
the army part to me, and I'm just saying this, it's not really like something I really was like crazy about. And that could just be me personally because I really don't care about. I'm not too big on war
Army stuff.
movies.
I feel that.
Unless you full if you're Full Metal Jacket, that's a different story. Because
How you? What about Forrest Gump?
uh, I mean I like Forrest Gump. I mean I guess I
That
didn't
was
care
a
for that. I didn't care for that either. To be
you
honest,
didn't you didn't
I didn't care for. I mean I cried when Bubba died. When the Forrest got shot in the butt, but I really didn't care about that too much. I don't know. I'm just not a big war movie fan unless you're Saving Private Ryan or Full Metal Jacket. Those are like iconic movies
what
on
about
their
Major
own.
Payne?
That's
Major
more of a
Payne.
that's more of a I mean that's different. You know what I'm saying? They're not actually going to war. Major Payne just like, it's funny. It's a funny movie. We gotta talk about that movie one day. But I just feel like in Dead Presidents, the army part, I just didn't care for it too much. I feel like a lot of stuff in that movie was kind of I don't know. I don't know about him having a shotgun in Battlefield. I just feel like it
Yeah,
happened.
that was kind of crazy. I ain't even
Uh,
peeped that
it's kind of you have a shotgun that don't have a lot of range, and it's like,
for real.
okay, and how many bullets
That,
it hold
it's
again?
not enough.
And
And
he was just
that was
shooting it. I was like,
reliable.
oh, I guess.
For real.
Um, but one thing I was really surprised about rewatching this again, because I watched it like a million times when I was a kid, and I didn't think none of it. It was just a black movie that you just had to watch. Or I do think Dead President is like a underrated movie compared to other black iconic movies, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I just feel like when you think of black movies, you're gonna think about your Friday, your Boys in the Hood, your Men Society. You got The Wood, The Best Man, uh, Players Club,
shit.
another black movie. Waiting to Exhale, Love and Basketball, Boy, just you got those iconic
You
movies.
you know what category you could really put this in? You gotta hear me out. You gotta hear me out though.
Good.
You could put it in black thrillers. I feel like you could put it in
It is
black
it is
thrillers.
a thriller though because
Cause
it has
like
intense moments.
it and like shit, it came out early October. And it's like I even thinking about it now, you see like it had just with the face paint stuff. A lot of people like to do that for like Halloween and stuff. Kind of like I guess it's kind of like
Nah, you don't try to make it a horror movie now. I
I'm
say
not
thriller.
horror, not horror, just like thriller. But it's just
I
like
say thriller at most. I say thriller at most.
I mean,
I would say
but
crime.
people dress like the nigga from would you call American Psycho? Would you call that thriller or horror? Because people dress like
I
him too
I
and
put
shit.
both. I don't know. That movie was crazy
I
to me.
wouldn't call
I
this
don't
a
know.
horror movie though, but
I don't know. I see what you're saying, but I do think it's a crime thriller in my opinion. This movie is a crime thriller. Um,
it would
but
have some scary elements to it though.
it
Like when I
did.
was a kid,
That dream
like
sequence messed me up.
shit was yeah. It
Yeah,
was
it's like
like
okay.
and like okay, but then like as a kid, like my pops had a like still does like has like a lot of DVDs, and like the cover it is it was just it was a kind of like little
It just
eerie,
throws
little
you
kind of
off.
unsettling, yeah. So it was just that's that kind of yeah, that kind of put a little bit of a dark cloud over it for me. Dark cloud probably not the word to use, but
Right.
that shit.
I think like I said, it's underrated. Is it underrated? I feel like
I feel
this
like it is
Dead
a little bit.
I feel like Dead Person is not talked about like it's like the other movies that I just named. I feel like it's not
Mm-hmm.
as talked about. It's not like an all-time classic. Like I said, it took it like growing up in the black community, certain movies that you by law to keep your black card, you had to watch
Mm-hmm.
it. You had to watch your Fridays. You had to watch your Men's Society, your Boys in the Hoods. You had to watch Love and Basketball. You had to watch. You had to watch What's Love Got to Do with It, like Paid in Full, Baby Boy, like those movies you had to watch.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this movie, it's like black people know about it, but it's like
People
kind of
know
like
it, but it's
it's
just
like
like
it's under the weather. It's like it's
it's
nothing
because of
like
that face paint. That shit, that's some
I,
iconic shit.
yeah. I mean, and then
People be having this shit on the shirts and shit too.
oh yeah,
People be
they
having
do. They do, and like it is a few comedians and a few comedy shows who reference this movie when it comes to heist movies. You know,
Do they?
yeah, because Kevin Hart, at the end of his Laugh at My Pain, one of his
He
friends
probably did.
had the face paint. He was like,
Oh yeah,
"You
yeah,
told
yeah.
me
When
dress
he
up as
did
my favorite heist movie. I chose Dead Presidents. Did we all say Reservoir Dogs? We all said Reservoir Dogs. I got a tweet. I got a tweet.
I remember
So people, when it comes to heist movies, black comedians are going to reference Dead Presidents, but I do think that this movie had a lot of flaws. But one surprise that I will say that caught me off guard watching this today, at this, me being 25 and me being the movie geek that I am into movies in the cinema world, I was really surprised by Chris Tucker's performance in this movie.
bro. I was waiting for you to bring that up. He
I
need to get
was
more. He need to get more serious
I
roles,
was
man.
so surprised because you gotta think about it. You know he's gonna be the rush hour guy, the smoky guy, and
Hmm.
he's always gonna be the comedian that carries a movie. But in
Hmm.
a serious role like this, I was like,
And he was still funny.
he was still funny, but the character was in a very intense situation.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
And
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 then
and go ahead.
the character came off as not a good person. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell the way the character is played by Chris Tucker. To me, he's mentally not really all there.
You don't think? Well, especially definitely not afterward. Definitely
Yeah,
not after
I
the
just feel like
after
he been through some
Vietnam.
stuff. I just feel
Yeah.
like the Vietnam really messed him up. That's another aspect that they touched on too, but they did in a subtle way. It wasn't in your face. It was the fact
Okay.
that. Go ahead.
Right. And I want to. And I'm really glad we're talking about this because do you remember when we talked about? You're gonna try to blow it off, but do you remember when we talked about Snowfall?
Yeah.
Remember when we talked about Snowfall? I remember how I said Peaches might have like HIV or AIDS.
Yes.
Maybe he didn't have HIV or AIDS, or maybe he did. But like they talked about how like something got into Chris Tucker back over there. It was Agent Orange,
He
and
did.
Agent
He did say that he was going to have sex with one of the Asian women. That
yeah.
could be true,
But no,
but
but like Agent Orange is it comes from like leaves and it comes from it's it was like it was kind of like not a pheromone, but it's a chemical that's used basically to like I guess like clear shit out in like areas and shit, like clear
I
enemies out
guess
and
I
shit.
guess I just think that
And
I think when it comes to Peaches and Skip,
you
which
think
Chris
it was
Tucker,
just strict? You think it was just strictly heroin?
I yes, for sure. That was a big thing in Vietnam. A lot of those soldiers were hooked on those
But
drugs, and
but
coming back home, it got worse.
but the do you and you seen how what's the nigga name? Well, Chris Tucker. You seen how Chris Tucker was
Skip,
basically
the Skip.
he basically admitted like how that shit was basically like alleviating him from that pain.
Yeah, and that's why a
He
lot
was in
and that's
cold
why
sweats and stuff.
a lot of them gets on get on drugs because they see a lot of horrible stuff. Um,
And that
but
shit was in him.
I,
And he ain't and no one knew what it was. And that shit is
you
always
keep
linked to
you keep hopping on this age theory. I just
no,
always
but no. But fuck the AIDS, bro. Because that Agent Orange is always it's linked to AIDS, cancer. It's linked to hella. It's linked to hella like. It's a really it mutates cells. It mutates cells and it just fucks your shit up.
I'm not thinking that deep of it. I think it was just heroin. I'm sorry. Cold
Bro.
sweats, cold sweats, snotty nose. That's a junkie. Yeah, everybody know that.
But that's what bro had in Dead Presidents. But he said it wasn't because of the heroin. He said it was because of
He
that
was
shit,
lying. He was lying. What are you talking
bro.
about? What you
If
talk?
you,
A
bro,
junkie lies. Well,
if
you actually believe what he said to Larenz
no,
Tate?
I know, I looked into it. I looked into it. I
No.
looked into it.
In
I
the
looked into
movie,
it.
he was on drugs in Vietnam, and he got back home. It got worse.
Man, man, telling you, bro.
Even
I'm
Larenz
telling
Tate
you.
looked at him. He's like, "It's not the heroin." It's like, yes, it is.
The
You're
doctors
on
ain't know what
drugs.
was going on with bro.
Because, bro, no, it was drugs. He was on heroin bad. Bad. Terrible. Cold sweats, snotty nose, sweating. He's on drugs, man. He's a junkie. You
Man.
know how powerful heroin is?
Yeah, but
Heroin is a very powerful drug. It's not
look,
it's
bro.
not no weed stuff.
Look it up, bro. They said that's the shit that
No,
got that's the shit
no,
that he
no.
had.
PG was
And
on
it
drugs.
and it happened a
It
lot.
was on drugs.
It
But
happened a
anyway,
lot,
back
bro.
to the performance. I was really surprised by Chris Tucker. He, even though he was funny, he still had some intense moments. It kind of felt like Smokey if Smokey was on heroin.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just
Word.
enjoy
Yeah.
Chris Tucker's performance. Keith David.
He did really good.
I like Keith David's performance.
He
I
was
like
good.
that scene when I like when he beat the dude up and he took the wrong leg.
Grabbed the wrong leg, cocksucker.
You mother.
Got a nigga cocksucker a lot.
I like that he was kind of like a mentor to Larenz Tate. He's like a father figure in a way. But the highlight of the movie, I gotta say, man, Larenz Tate and Dead Presidents was phenomenal in it. I feel like he was right. And you know what? It makes sense at the time because he worked with them before with Men's Society. So why not take on this different approach? But his performance and the way he carries his character from, like I said, 3 different movies into
For
one.
real.
He, as much as it didn't flow right to me, he carried it. And you know what? It's really surprising that Larenz Tate is not as big as he is when it comes to the acting world. Because
He is us. It don't matter. He is
in the
us.
black community,
he is us.
yeah, the black community. In the black community, he is a legend, but I feel like he's way more. He's just a talented actor, man.
Oh God.
And me personally, I'm gonna be real. I know this is off topic, but I just felt like he should have more time in Power Book 2, in my opinion. I just felt he wasn't in there too much because he was the best actor in Power Book 2. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Just levels to this, man. Just levels to it.
I like a lot of his scenes that I've seen.
Yeah, I was saying like Larenz Tate is a terrific actor. But let's get into the filmmaking, the movie and stuff itself. So the movie starts off as Anthony is picking up milk and drops him. That's his job, and he got his best friend, Skip. And what's that Hispanic dude name? Was he Dominican? Right?
I don't know.
Puerto Rican,
something like that.
I don't know why. I don't know why I want to say Chewy.
Growing up, I thought he was white as just a white boy.
No, he was Hispanic. You can tell the way he looked Hispanic.
Growing up.
He looked Hispanic. No, he looked Hispanic. He looked Hispanic. He talked Hispanic. He spoke Spanish. He's Hispanic, but I think he's Puerto Rican though. He might be Dominican. I don't know. But I think his name was Jose.
Jose.
But in the truck, he talking about going to war. And he feel like he wants to do something different with his life, and he feel like the college lifestyle is not gonna be for him. He want to do something that's going to be special to something he can honor. And Skip was like, "No," he said, "They ain't done nothing to me. Why would I go over there?" And he got drafted there. So, But and then he got this love interest. I forgot the girl's name. God, but the girl, his main girl, he has like a Luana. Yeah, very very gorgeous. I'm gonna have a little outtake here, but I think that the other sister looked better than the dark skin.
She was bad.
I'm not gonna. I always had a crush on that lady. That actress, the little.
She was bad, especially when she became especially when she got the afro.
She got the afro. You know what I'm saying? She would look better than me.
Black Power girl.
But it always seemed like
Black Panther.
It always seemed like them two had tension between those two. Like I felt.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like when she opened the door,
she got did dirty in this movie.
She did. And
she went out like a soldier though. She was on that shit. She was on that.
I was kind of wondering like why would she take on this job though? Like
because it was really like because they was think about it. I mean like, well in her perspective, it was right. It was very it was a righteous act because that's really what they were gonna do. Like I guess
No,
burn the money figuratively. It was kind
no,
of like
no.
taking from the rich.
Well,
Give
yeah,
it
that's
to the
true.
poor.
That's true. That's true. Um, so yeah, and then
That's basically what they did. That's basically what they did with the Christmas drive too.
yeah,
Sorta.
and then Lorenz, then we get introduced to Terrence Howard when Lorenz Tate works in the pool hall, and Terrence Howard, man, Terrence Howard looks so young in this movie.
Young as hell.
He had a
Young as
fur, he
fuck.
had a
Was
skinny neck.
this wasn't his first movie, was it? Was it?
I don't think so. Terrence Howard was working a lot.
Man,
He oh no, he was in the basketball movie. Sunset Park.
but he was in
Yeah, he was in the basketball movie. He was young, man.
this movie sounding country as hell to be a Harlem nigga. What
That's
y'all doing in here, man?
my.
What y'all let this kid in here
Yep,
for, man?
he was Spaceman. I
Spaceman.
got, yeah, that was his name. I got it. Sunset Park got 13% Rotten Tomatoes. It don't look that good.
Rotten Tomatoes be hating on everything.
But let me see audience score. 83% Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, but nobody talk about this movie at all though. It's supposed to be
I
like
don't know.
I guess it's supposed to be like the basketball version of Wildcats. Looks
I
like
don't know. I
it.
don't know Wildcats.
You don't know Wildcats? Oh yeah, you super young. Wildcats is it's a lady
Nigga,
coach.
football.
Yeah,
Nigga,
football. Yeah, but this is like
turn
the
of
bas.
what's it called? Turn of the Titans. Isn't that what it's
Yeah.
called?
Well, this is like the Wildcats was the white lady coming in to coach football, and women don't really coach football. And I guess Sunset Park supposed to be the basketball version of that. But back to the movie. So yeah, so Terrence Howard's in there. And
'96.
he said Maine every.
This shit came out after this.
Oh, okay. So Dead President might be his first movie.
Huh.
But I know he was in a lot of
He
sitcom
look
stuff.
young as hell.
Yeah, I mean he's young, man. He's young. He's 90s. But he say Maine every sentence. I was like, "Where's this nigga from?" He sounds like a Mississippi pimp. Even though they in Harlem. Uh, that kind of threw me off. I wish they did something different. I wish that he had more of a Harlem accent. Because I don't know, they don't get too much. I mean, it's cool they don't give background story of who this guy is, but
Really?
if you're from Harlem, you gotta talk Harlem. You can't talk like you from the South. Even people who are from the South who move up to the North, eventually they'll change their ways of talking. You know, it takes some time, but especially if you're super young. But yeah, I just feel like he should have something different. I just feel like he should have a Harlem accent. He sounded like he from Mississippi. He was making Hustle Flow
They probably told him
before
just talk how
Hustle
you.
Flow.
They probably told him talk how you talk.
But then he don't talk like that, like in the Best Man and
Nah,
Players Club. He don't talk like that.
he don't.
It
He
just
probably the only
confused
two
me
movies he did that. That
because
probably some other movie.
Terrence Howard is a great actor, man. Great actor, can really take over a movie. And I know we as black people make fun of him the way he talk. He said "my man," but a lot of movies he don't do that in. He don't
No,
say that a
he
lot.
don't.
I mean, he's known for Hustle and Flow, but when he was in Iron Man in the Best Man series and
Mm-hmm.
other stuff, it's like he don't talk like that. He just talk
He ain't talk like
regular.
that in Empire.
Empire, Prisoners, he's in a lot of stuff and he don't talk like that. But that's what makes him a great actor. So I want to talk about the heist. The heist in this movie, that was a weak part of it too, in my opinion. I just feel like it wasn't. I just The action was good and it was very intense. But
Mm-hmm.
going for the story, and I just feel like if Larenz Tate's character is supposed to be this strategist mind, um, he don't come off as a dumb person. So it kind of never makes sense to me why he needed so many people in this robbery. I just never understood why he needs so many people. And even
Real.
Tucker's character, like, we should put an ad out on a poster or something that everybody will join in. So you're gonna invite everybody. It's like it don't make any sense. And I was like, yeah, it don't. That part didn't make any sense. You should have had those people in there because they're criminals. I just understood why he chose the Bokeem Woodbine pastor character who was in the military with them. He was the
I don't know
crazy.
why they chose him either.
Yeah,
Why?
it
I
didn't
don't
make
know why
any
they chose.
sense.
Well, I guess they thought that, I mean, because he was killing. He was,
But he's a
bro was
pastor now.
crazy as hell.
Is
I
he's a
guess I
pastor
don't
now.
know. It
But
was a
you
bad
had
move on them,
skill.
and that nigga definitely
You
had skill.
but you had Skip though on the lookout. Like
Had skill. I
if
wish
you
that
if you
I
didn't
wish
trust
they.
Skip, then you
I
shouldn't
was
have
thinking
Skip
they
in
could
there
have got
then.
the doctor nigga, but I was maybe the doctor nigga wasn't from Harlem. That's what I was thinking. But they didn't need, bro. They didn't need to
They
pass.
didn't
That
need a
nigga, and he
pastor.
was crazy
That's the
nigga. They called him the crazy. They called him a crazy nigga.
but he turned to a pastor. That's one
No,
thing
that's
that
what I'm
makes
saying. That's why they shouldn't have brought him
yeah, she
because he
shouldn't
was
have brought
crazy.
him. And
Nigga
plus
wasn't passing. That nigga was giving money. That nigga was giving the money back on the streets talking about God gave it to him.
no, he bought a new car and he was flexing it.
Oh, and he said Jesus gave it to him.
And then people were like, how this
Said,
pastor at this small church is able to buy this new car? You
nigga
never had
said
a
Jesus
car
gave it to
before,
him.
and now you got
Hell
this
nah.
fancy car. He brought attention to himself and
Tripping.
he snitched on everybody.
They picked
And
that nigga
I,
right up.
and that's why I'm like, why would you invite this guy? Why would you have this guy be part of this? He was a liability from the get-go. Um, but yeah, I just feel like the heist part was intense. It was crazy, but the planning was bad. It was like
It was bad.
Anthony, what you doing?
It's
Like
like they
what?
did. It's like they
Like
didn't. It's like they didn't plan. They should have planned for if a cop would come
It's just
and
like
stop and talk to them.
it's like they just went over there to shoot people. Like what was your plan? So your plan was to blow up the truck door, but the bomb was powerful enough to blow up the whole truck. You don't supposed to blow up the door to get the money, and it's like you about to burn the whole money up. And it's like
Damn, they did. They ain't
for
even take. They ain't even take all of it. They couldn't.
they took 500 grand or
That
four
still
hundred
was
grand.
that, and it was still some shit that wasn't burnt. They couldn't even grab it.
First of all, why you didn't just have I don't know, like
It was dumb.
it
It
was
low
just
key pisses me off
it
thinking
was
that.
just all over the place. And then they were running. That part where they were running, it was funny. I was like, and why the Red Tate is running on top of the car? It's gonna slow you down. It's like just run on the sidewalk. That made no sense to me of him just run on top of the car. It's like it's slowing you down, man. Like everybody else is running on the sidewalk, like
Drawing attention to him.
yeah, it's like draw attention. And then the Hispanic dude died. He going all crazy and stuff. But
And it's like with the painting of the face.
that was too
Yeah.
much in my opinion. It's like
Now,
you know how much time you got to scrape that off.
yeah, like with a mask, you could take a mask
Yeah, you
off.
take a mask off, but a paint is like that was too much. It's like this rescue mask. Like you know you got white makeup on, and them guards made you a mile away. Because y'all got white on, bright white in the morning. Yeah.
Mm.
But I just feel like the army part should be cut out, in my opinion. It should have been cut out and just focus on
Well,
him
I don't
into the
know.
criminal
I don't know.
world.
I don't know. Because I will say this. With the shift that his character took from well, you see his shift during the army where he talks about not wanting to think about his family and not think about the world outside of the war. Um, that shift right there, and from the point moving on, I feel like if I feel like it was significant, I feel like they just could have did it a little better, or made it either had to be shorter or longer, either or one of the two, and because like when you see his breaking points and when you see his breaking points and when you see like the treatment that he gets when he gets back there from
Yeah,
when
I
he
was
was
thinking that too.
like when he was in the when he was in the taxi car smoking and the white man was driving him, the nigga was looking in the back and it was just like he was like real suave and it was just like cinematography in this motherfucker was crazy too. It was it kind of had like a music video like vibe to it a little bit because it's like also the point like he was real he kind of felt like he almost kind of felt like the man when he came back and it was like they had like the little shot where when he was in the nightclub, and he whooped Terrence Howard's ass.
He was
But
different. He was mad. He was mad different.
but he was also choking out his baby mama and
I
struggling with
I
the
do see
nigga
your
giving
point.
his baby
Yeah,
mama some money and
I do
shit.
see your point.
And
I
then
don't know.
all,
It just felt like it was just too many movies into one.
but it shows you like basically like how like
I get it. I get
it
it.
gets deep. It gets deep, and
It gets deep. It gets deep. But I don't
because
know.
you know that scene it stuck out with me so much that I looked that shit up too. The scene where the dude got castrated, got his guts cut
Yeah,
out,
that was crazy.
and they had the note talking about how it was like it was basically telling like the black soldiers this ain't your war. And bruh, they were really like leaving notes like that for like black soldiers. They even left like a propaganda. They even left like propaganda for black soldiers, basically talking about like the same killing you're doing over here is the same killing that that they be doing to y'all niggas back home.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
you see at the end basically like how another veteran another veteran basically like belittled this nigga and didn't give him no type of like understanding, like didn't give just gave that nigga life, gave
Right.
my nigga life. Like it led to like probably one of bro's like it led to another breaking point. And it was just like damn, like it really ain't our war, bro. But I feel like
It was sad. Yeah, it was sad. But at the end of the day,
I feel like they had a lot of story to tell, but they didn't have enough resource, or like I guess I don't know, because I think this was like 12 million, 10 million budget.
no, it's not
And
big. It's not a big budget. And plus, like you're talking about the Hughes brothers. It's not like the Hughes brothers are the Cohen brothers. You know who? You know, it's not like that.
facts.
But at the same time, like I said, it's a lot of great stuff in this movie. I just felt like the pacing and the transitions wasn't the
Yeah.
best, but it'll do. And like I said, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. But that scene with Clifton Powell and Larenz Tate, that was an intense, but yet somewhat funny scene.
This shit was
It
sad.
it was
Shit was
it was one of
crazy.
those situations where it's like, dang man,
It's like, what do you do?
he is down bad.
It's like, what do you do, bro? Suck it,
So
nigga.
so Clifton Powell's character is like a drug dealer who works for Nicky Barnes. He's one of Nicky Barnes' peoples. And
Who's
while
Nicky Barnes?
you don't know who Nicky Barnes is?
No, that's a real nigga.
Nicky Barnes? You don't know who Nicky Barnes is?
Mm-mm.
Have you seen American Gangster?
Oh, is that him?
Cuban Gooding Jr.'s character in that movie.
No, okay, so okay, that's cool. But
Nicky
was that
Barnes,
was he a real dude?
what?
I didn't know. I didn't
Look
know
him
that.
up. Look him up right now. Nicky Barnes. Nicky Barnes was one of the biggest drug dealers in New York. Him and Frank Lucas, who was played by Denzel Washington in American Gangster, were the two biggest drug dealers, drug lords of all time. They created the Black Mafia in New York. He has own Black Mafia called the Council.
I think it was live for a minute too.
Yeah, he was in Witness Protection. Nicky Barnes, man. Nicky Barnes. Mr. Untouchable. He's the
He
kill.
was in witness protection.
Yeah.
I never finished I never watched American
Well,
Gangster.
it's not about Nicky Barnes. It's about Frank Lucas. But
What was
Nicky
he in witness
Barnes,
protection for? He snitched.
he was directly working. Yes, he snitched on the mafia and his own people because one of his people was sleeping with his wife while he was in prison.
Oh,
So he decided to turn on them because he
that makes
slept with
sense
his
for
wife.
everybody.
Yeah. But he had a big connection with the Italian mafia. He was the Mr. Untouchable. He was the one that went to court all the time and was never convicted for his crimes because he's intimidated the witness. So they call him Mr. Untouchable.
Ray Matthews still alive.
Who?
Frank Matthew. Oh, never
Oh,
mind. Frank
oh,
Lucas.
Frank
Frank
Lucas
Lucas
is
dead though.
dead.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So yeah, so Clifton
2019.
Powell's character worked for Nicky Barnes, and you could tell how menacing Nicky Barnes is because they mention his name a few times in his movies, but they don't never show him. But Clifton Powell character works for him, and apparently, Clifton Powell was hooking up with Larenz Tate's with Anthony's girl while he was at the war. But this happened after she had the baby. So after the baby was born, Clifton Powell and her was hooking up. They wasn't in a serious relationship. It was basically just sex because she was yeah they wasn't married. So
Mm.
so there's really no ties to it. But when Larenz Tate character Anthony came back, everybody was saying like, yeah, that nigga was like fooling with her. You know what I'm saying? Especially Terrence Howard character, he was like, yeah, he tapped that. Yeah, he got mad. That's why he beat him up. But Clifton Powell character shows up. He was like, my little girl sleep back there. I want to get something nice, and you could tell tensions are rising between
Like I
all
told
three
you,
of
stop
them.
spoiling her like this. He said somebody got to. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's,
And she was honest. She was honest with Anthony. She was like, "Listen,
she was.
you didn't want a life with me. You went on to the army. You left me with this baby. What am I supposed to do? You could get killed at any moment.
He
I'm
wasn't
supposed
writing her.
to be sitting here and wait for you. And you got this man who's dressed like a vampire from Brooklyn coming over here and giving me money and got this car, got everything. He got money because he just said like, what you want me to do? He's
That's
gonna take
real.
care of me. I'm an attractive woman. You're not gonna sit here, you're not gonna act like I'm not gonna have options. I got options.
But she didn't have to be like, I'm gonna keep taking the money until you. She didn't have to say that to her face. I'm gonna keep taking the money, and that's why.
I think she was just frustrated. She was just
But she didn't have to
frustrated.
say all that. But yeah, he didn't have to go that far because she was like expressing.
But let me tell you something, man. Women could push your buttons, boy. I'm telling you.
He said, you don't know.
Man, they could
You don't
push.
know, girl.
They
He said,
could
you don't
push.
know, girl.
They could push your buttons, man. I don't like. We know we are raised not to hit women, but women sometimes be pushing, man. They got some mouth on them. They say the most hurtful stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just like, man, don't tell your girlfriend nothing because she'll use that against you in a heartbeat, man. But you can't do that to them though. If you do that to them,
Facts.
it's like you're the
Facts.
bad guy.
Facts.
But yeah, and then Clifton Powell, that one scene where I guess he was walking out the apartment and Larenz said, man, stay there away from my family. He said, what you say? He said, you heard me, goddamn. That F with my he said, no. Punch that dude in the face. I try to be a friend, but and you could tell that Clifton Powell's character really like have feelings for Juanita, whatever her name is, and it's more than just sex with him. And he hates the fact that Larenz Tate is back, and he really wants. He
Nigga
really
literally
want.
said, "You
Yeah, he
lucky
really
this." He
want.
said, "You say you lucky this is personal." That's
Yeah,
why he didn't kill that nigga. That is crazy.
yeah. Because I feel like if he did have, I feel like, but I also think though if he didn't kill him because he didn't want to look weak himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he killed Larenz Tate, everybody like, "Oh, you killed him over a female? Come on, man, you should be better than that." Because I ain't gonna lie to you, back in the day, they didn't play that. They didn't play that at all.
Facts.
They did not play that. You fighting over a woman, you look weak.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't play all that, man. It's different in today's time they do it and people will acknowledge it. And it's kind of common now that dudes will
Yeah.
fight and kill over girl. But back then, the OGs, the old heads, they didn't play all that, man. As I don't care how good it is. You better move on. You better be a pimp. You'll walk off. Cause them pimps back in the day, they did not care, man. They did not care. They were like, so go mess. I'll find me another one. So, and I feel like, man, not man, those days, man, as much, and they still do, but it's like you get called out for it at that time. It's like, man, you fighting over a girl, man, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like old heads did not play about that. OGs, old heads, they did not play about that, man.
I
But
believe it.
today's time, ooh,
You better not caught up.
man, dudes fight over girls. That's not even their girlfriend. They just had sex with them one time. It's like, you messing with
Mm-hmm.
my girl. That's not your girl, man. You
Mm-hmm.
just smashed her one time. But anyway, so I think that's why he didn't kill him. It was personal, and he didn't want to look weak. He didn't want to make it seem like it got to him and stuff like that. So he spared the young dude's life and stuff like that. Uh, but it was really sad seeing Larenz Tate character like losing everything.
In fact, I was about to say that
It was
because
really tough watching that.
yeah, because like when you see him telling his parents he wants to go into the army, he's excited. He's excited. Like he wants them to like smile with him. He wants his pops to even like I guess like encourage him. And like
No,
he just seems so sure about it.
no,
Once he gets back, even like the vibe with his parents is different. Like bro just want to eat. Like even his pops don't even like even the mom brings up the war. It's crazy because like the mom brings up the war, pops blows off the war, and Lorenz Tate don't want to talk about the war. The pops didn't want to talk about the war when Lorenz Tate brought it back up,
mm.
and it's just like
But do you also
it's
realize
just
one thing? And not in this movie, but a lot of documentaries or movies about the Vietnam War. I seem like it seemed like at that time they didn't consider Vietnam War a real war. The people who
yeah,
came
that's some bullshit. That's fucked up
and the people who came from World War II, they were like, I served the real war. Like Vietnam is not real. It's like, yo, they still sacrificed their lives. Like people died.
for real, and
Like they went
and I
over
think
there and they almost got they people got killed. Like young men got killed.
for real. A lot of shit got it that a lot of that got to do with like the changing times.
It
A
did,
lot of
yeah.
people were being able to like get into positions like to fight in the war, especially like black people. And it was because they were fighting Asia and like again, like Asian people were even trying to like contact and about like colored people fighting
Yeah.
and killing and shit.
I wonder what that I keep forgetting what that war was about anyway.
I don't know.
I keep
Some
forgetting
bullshit.
because I know what World War II was about and a little
Man,
bit of
awesome
World War One, but
bullshit.
Vietnam, I don't know what that war was about, honestly. But it didn't last long. It lasted a few years, but yeah, we did not win that war. We went back home.
Facts.
Yeah, we went back home. Um, we did. Like, who would
It
not
was
win?
fucking us up though.
Yeah, they packed that stuff up and went back to America.
Hey, that family guy, that family guy cutscene when it was in DC. The Asian dude was like scoreboard,
Yeah, yeah, it's like
scoreboard.
yeah, that we did.
He
Yeah,
said, "Oh, I remember that dude."
yeah,
He said, "I killed him."
we
He
did not
cried
win
like a
that.
bitch.
Yeah, we did not win that war. But it just I think I see what you're saying.
Scoreboard.
It's just veterans coming home and be mentally messed up and mentally
Yeah,
not the same.
they wasn't done right.
They weren't done right. I have an uncle that was in the military and he wasn't the same after something tragic happens to his team and he fortunately and blessedly made it out, but he wasn't mentally the same. And it just shows you that, the veteran soldiers don't get treated well. And it's sad because they go out and fight for the country and protect the citizens. But when they come home, it's like you're not in the army no more. It's like we don't care about that.
I
Like
knew this dude.
only your family and friends care about that, but everybody else, we don't care, you know?
I knew this dude. I don't talk to him no more just because I guess his lifestyle. His lifestyle is it's too much for I guess for me at least. But he this dude last year, he was an older dude. I guess like he's like in his 30s. Now he was like non-traditional student. He was a veteran. Turns out this nigga was like raped by I think like three white men. And that
Uh,
I think he got HIV from that. And
yeah.
he the stuff that he talks about his lifestyle, like I said, yeah, bro, I don't know. He need help.
I'd rather die than get raped, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then nigga, and think about it, it's for you in a position to fight for a country that's yours or a country that's
And
ours.
then
And
and you know the black movies and the black commentary in the 90s and all that stuff is like, or period was like, black man ain't got no place in no white man's war. They always said that. So
we just had a lunch and it was for military. I don't know what it is, bro. I thought so like where I sang at, and it wasn't at a church. It was right up there. But um I don't know what it is. We had to sing the national anthem and just don't be feeling right. That's all
but
I'm gonna
yeah,
say on that. I
but
don't know.
yeah. But like I said, the performances here are great. I feel like the filmmaking in this movie, the cinematography, I feel like it was done well. And the camera movements and the stuff they do to make,
Bruh.
stuff more personal. I feel like it was very done well.
Like that scene when he was walking into the club or whatever the
The
bar.
pool hall.
Yeah, that little one shot where the nigga was
That
just
that was that that
walking
was
there.
that was
Like,
cool.
yeah,
Like the Hughes
that shit was
brothers,
cool.
the Hughes brothers are very talented filmmakers.
Are they do they?
Very,
What's
very
their most recent
talented.
movies? Like what's their most recent shit?
I just remember the Book of Eli, honestly.
They ain't made nothing else.
They made
Like
they made Dear Mama, the documentary about Tupac. They did that.
what about music videos and stuff?
But they did a lot of music videos. But they started off making music videos. They
But I'm
started
talking
off.
about like afterwards.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know
How
too
old
much
are these
about.
niggas?
I don't know too much about the Hughes. They in their 50s now, but I don't know too much about the Hughes brothers.
Oh,
But I do know they have a couple of films. The three movies that I know about them. What?
Albert Q, that nigga did Alpha. I didn't watch Alpha, but it was the movie with the girl and the wolf.
He did do that. Yep, he did do that.
That's
Yep.
fire.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
hard.
yeah. Yeah, they're pretty talented filmmakers,
I
man.
gotta watch that.
But I just feel like Men Society is their best work in my opinion. You put Book of Eli. The Book of Eli is a good movie though.
I never finished
Um,
Book of Eli. I know Bird dies at the end.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's that
But
even? Is it about the part in the Bible? Is it about the Bible? That's a real book.
I don't remember too much
That's a
about it.
real book, but it's
It's a
missing
real
in it.
book, yeah. But yeah, and then you got Dead Presidents. But I think the performances are good. I do think that Chris Tucker did very well.
Show
Wu
did.
King Woodbine did good. He's always a
He
great
did
actor.
good. He definitely did
Wu King.
good.
I like the
That
way
nigga,
he transformed from a crazy guy to
this shit
um
was
he
crazy.
played a lot of different characters throughout his years, man. His career, he played a lot of different characters, man. I just
Love playing a crazy nigga.
Wu
That
King.
nigga, he was crazy as hell in what's the name? Jason's Lyric.
I didn't like that movie too much, but I didn't like that movie too much. That's one of those hood movies I just don't care about, honestly. Um, but and first of all, that movie it just makes me sweat.
Had a scarier chainsaw scene than Scarface for me.
Oh, that's what makes you sweat.
Nigga. No.
No, Jason Lyric's
I'm
movie.
gonna say
That
that
Jason
right.
Lyric movie made me sweat. And it's so country. And I was like, me and my friends were talking about this other day. We were like, it's crazy how Jay Pinkett Smith and that Jason dude was having sex on the grass and crickets. And he's butt naked and he's got grass
For
over his
real
head. And
though.
it's like, it's like
For
you got,
real though,
you
bro.
got crickets and bugs. And it's just like, oh, y'all so country, man.
Only in the South.
I can't do it. I need to
Only in
be
the South.
inside. I can't be outside about my butt cheeks hanging.
Hey man,
Just
go
pumping.
go right in, get some sweet tea afterwards.
No, man. No, give me lemonade. Bro. Uh, but yeah, so I think this movie overall is a solid movie. But I think it has a lot of flaws with the pacing though. I just feel like the pacing is all over the place.
Most
Um,
definitely for sure.
I do think that the army part to me is still the weakest. And it's very graphic, but I still think it's the weakest.
I feel that. I
I
feel
just I
that.
just I just I just wish it was more about him in Harlem and just I don't know. I think a good crime thriller will fit with this movie better than just coming of age, army. Now he got a heist movie. I think it should be strictly just a heist movie. If it was just a strictly heist movie in Harlem, to me it'll be fit a better movie. And I know People gonna be like negative imagery, but you already got negative imagery in this movie. You got pimp, drug dealer dressed like a vampire. You got a country Memphis dude that's in New York, who just evil. Uh, you got a junkie who just killed a police officer like it was nothing.
Yeah,
You got Keith David who runs numbers, and that shit old. They said tomorrow running numbers. You know how old running numbers
running
is?
numbers is
Running
crazy.
numbers back in the 30s. It continued on to the 60s. It was
Running numbers
dying
is
because
crazy.
it was dying off in the 60s. And that's what he was saying to Larenz.
I still don't know what that shit means.
It's gambling.
Oh,
It's like hitting the lottery.
it's like sweepstakes.
So basically what it is like you have to guess certain numbers. And if you guess these numbers right, you get paid.
That's like sweep, kind of like not sweepstakes.
Yeah,
Kind of
kind of
like
like it is.
sweepstakes.
It's like the lottery tickets. Like so you got guess a number.
Like bingo,
You got to guess a number,
sweepstakes.
and if you get
For
the
sure.
number right, you get paid. But what you have to do is in order for you to win, you got to put your bet in.
So you got to put the
So
money in.
you got to put the money in. They're not going to take your bet unless you pay them. So you got these slips, like these slips. Watch Hoodlum. Hoodlum was just Hoodlum and stuff like that would tell you. That's what Bobby Johnson did. If you know who Bumpy Johnson is, Bumpy Johnson ran
Um,
numbers. Bumpy Johnson was not a drug dealer. Don't watch The Godfather of Harlem. He ran numbers. That was his thing. He ran numbers for years. He was not no drug dealer. He ran numbers. But yeah. So basically, what the numbers?
I be seeing this movie a lot on be recommended on YouTube.
Who?
Hoodlum, it be recommended a lot on YouTube.
Yeah, so what Hoodlum is, it's by Bumpy Johnson too, the Hoodlum movie. But how running numbers is that you have to go to where whoever running the numbers is, you gotta place your bet. In order to place your bet, you gotta give them the money. It's an illegal thing. So they're placing their money. So if you want to pay like 50 cents or $1, whatever it is, it's cheap now, but back in the day it was a lot of money. And if you get your numbers right, you get paid. But the
Oh, they do that with fights and stuff. Like, do they do that with like sports events and fights and stuff?
it
Like, is that what they was
it's
doing in like
gambling.
Harlem Nights and stuff?
No,
They
no,
did
that's
Harlem
different.
Nights.
No, that's different. They were just
Okay,
betting sports, but
because I was
you
watching.
had running numbers was a big thing back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. So what you did was, especially in the north, they ain't do this in the south, they do this in the north. So basically what they did was you had to guess your number and you got to put the best, you got to put it, they did it in Malcolm X too. And the beginning part of Malcolm X, you got to guess your number and you got to place the bet in. And all place your bet, you got to pay them. So imagine a whole community of people coming up to you placing their bets. You're making an incredible amount of money. And paying them back is nothing because you made so much from everybody coming up to you and placing their bets.
okay,
So that's what running numbers is. So they
okay.
come up to you, I guess I saw in my dream 5, 5, 10, 3, and they got to write it down. And if
Mhm.
you guess those numbers right, you get paid a certain amount of money. Everybody was running. Everybody, it was innocent too. It was just gambling. It was like simple gambling. So somebody who's poor can win $60, and at that time, $60 you could feed your whole family for a week with $60 in the 30s. Especially with the Great Depression. Everybody was into it now.
Recession,
Yeah. So like that was running numbers.
recession.
That was running numbers though. But then like in the 60s, running numbers was dying because nobody was really doing that anymore. That was like a 30s, 40s, 50s thing. It was dying off. And drug dealing was really coming into play at that time. That's when heroin was really hitting the scene, especially in Harlem. And in New York,
Heroin.
that's when heroin really started playing. That's when your Nicky Barnes and your Frank Lucas came into play. Because when Bumpy Johnson died, Frank Lucas and them, they took over the drug game. It was really coming into play. And from the late 60s, early 70s with the heroin, man, it's like it was crazy. It was everywhere in New York. So yeah. And that's how like Keith David character was really struggling because like he didn't want to sell drugs. It was just too like drug dealing is really risky and stuff. So he didn't want to get into that. But running numbers, he's like, I'm just placing a bet here and there, just making a little extra money, just basically getting by. So, and that's what Larenz Tate character was doing in the beginning of the movie too. When he was walking and he was saying what's up to everybody when he entered the pool hall. He was Kirby. That's the guy's name, Kirby.
Kirby.
Keith David character was Kirby, and he was working for Kirby, and he was basically taking in bets for them, and everybody was telling him his bet stuff. He was Anthony. He was a little kid taking in bets for everybody. So, yeah. That time period is old as hell though. Like, damn. I wish I could go back to that time period. It seemed kind of in the north, not in the south.
Okay.
In the north. But it takes place in 1968.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't that.
Are you talking about this movie?
This movie takes place in 1968. I
thought you was talking about maybe like the 50s.
Like no, I don't know.
I think you was talking about 30s and 50s and shit.
Okay,
buddy.
I would like to go there in the north, not in the south.
For sure.
I asked my parents, I was like, man, why did everybody was so in the north so excited to go to the south? Like, do they watch the news what the south is like? Because like Emmett Till, he was so excited to his cousin. It's cheaper now, but
it's always been cheaper, I guess.
Yeah, it always been cheaper, but a lot of people from the south was going to the north. Like Frank Lucas is from North Carolina. He's from Fayetteville. And he went up to the north, because he had to get away from me. You talk about racism, the Ku Klux Klan coming after you. It's like, I take my bare chances up in New York, where black people they have their own stuff. Compared to down south, you didn't have a lot of stuff. And you run around with no shoes on and dirt and stuff. Up there, they got shoes. And, you know what I'm saying?
It's a house for every 400 acres.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So overall, what would you rate this movie? Would you final conclusion about this movie?
Give this movie a 7, solid.
I'll give it a 6.5.
Damn.
Yeah.
Can't give it a 7?
Nah, 6.5. 6.5. It's a movie that I like, but I wouldn't. It's not for me to like. I gotta watch this again. Like a good guilty pleasure movie that's logically wise don't really make any sense, but it's an entertaining movie. Four Brothers. I could watch Four Brothers over and over again because how entertaining that movie
is. I guess like it only because I like Andre 3000.
You don't like the movie like that? I like Four Brothers, man.
It's cool. I didn't grow up on it. I feel like I should have grew up on it. My pops had it on DVD too.
I like Four Brothers, man. It's one of the movies where you could just sit back and just watch it. It's nothing really crazy. But I like Four Brothers, man. I do. I think it's a cool movie. Not the best, but I like Four Brothers. So anyway,
fighting on ice.
That was crazy. Hey, I always wondered, like, where did Mark Wahlberg come from? Like, he walked in the middle of the ice stage.
Bruh.
Everybody drove. He's the only one that I was like, wait a minute. He walked there in
I thought I wasn't tripping, bro.
He walked up there he walked up there in
right on time.
Because Victor was like, who's going to take on the chair? Who's going to do it? You, Charlie? And all of a sudden, he pops up like, how come here? Because everybody drove.
That nigga is weird, though, because he used to rap and he used to be racist.
He changed his ways, man. God forgives.
God forgives.
God forgives. And he's best friends with Jonah Lucas. He's best friends with him.
He is.
He's best friends with him. He changed his ways. He was Boston people are racist as hell. You know that, man. They the Irish Mississippi.
Damn.
They are, man. And they can fight too. Like,
yeah.
You got Mississippi dirt, and you got Irish poor white project people. Cause have you seen Black Mass?
Yes.
Yeah, you see Black Mass. So those characters are racist as hell. Like,
as fuck.
And they're from the projects. Like, they live like niggas, but don't like niggas. They commit crime.
Don't make no sense. Don't make no sense, bro.
But anyway, we getting off topic here. But anyway, this was a solid movie. I will recommend. Okay, if you're a person who don't like violence, I won't recommend this to you because there's a lot of violence.
Definitely not.
It's really squirty blood,
especially in the middle.
You talking about Quentin Tarantino bad and Kill Bill and Django? This is here just like it. when people get shot, blood just squirts out. They actually show guts pouring out. It had to
I've
put
never seen castration on film. I don't. Well,
have
maybe I.
I? I think I have. It was a medieval movie that did that. It's like just cut the head off. But yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not decapitation. I'm talking about castration. Dick in mouth.
When did they do that?
The nigga with the guts,
That is right. Yeah, 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 yeah,
bro.
yeah,
That shit was nasty,
yeah. Yeah, it was nasty. It was nasty.
bro.
But anyway, if you're a person who likes violent movies, who likes stuff like this, please go watch this movie. The Hughes brothers are fantastic filmmakers.
They good, bro.
I think they're very underrated. But I
They
just
need to make more, man. They really need to
they
make
they
more.
they're still working. They're still working. But it's more independent stuff. So
Yeah, I feel like if they could have made this movie longer, it probably would have been real solid.
I just
Long
like
ass intro.
I just feel like they need to cut some stuff out. That
Cut out
intro
the
was
intro.
long. That feel like goosebumps. It's like,
Bro,
yo, what?
bro. I had to go. I was watching this movie. I was watching this movie yesterday, and as soon as I turned it on, I had to go to the bathroom. And the bathroom, someone was in there. There's only one stall in that bathroom, so I had to go all the way down to the hall. There was someone in there. I had to go upstairs. I come back down, bro. Movie just start.
Yeah, it's a long intro. That was a long intro. But anyway, guys, stay safe out there. Be great. The world's getting crazier and crazier. So,
For real, man.
but
And
anyway,
don't get pushed to your breaking point like
but
Anthony did, bro.
we're back being consistent again. Um, we are being consistent with this again.
Yeah.
We took some time off because I had personal stuff going on and Jacoby had stuff going on, but we're back on it. We're gonna continue a lot more movies. Um, I kind of want to do something different with this whole channel thing. I'm gonna talk to Jacoby about this,
Okay.
um, but anyway, thank you guys for joining in, and I'll talk to you. We'll see y'all next week. See you later.
Peace.